Hello gamers, I'm Mike TheZorch, and today's Gamers Bay Weekly is not a particularly long episode today, and this is a particularly older story, though it's new to me. I check out a lot of news sources, a lot of game industry sites, and IGN, Game Ranks. I also, even though they're woke as heck and crazy, I check out G4. I check out a big variety of sources for information and news to convey. And I didn't see this on any of their news cycles. So, you all remember what happened years back, and I'm not going to go over stuff people already know. That there was a falling out between Konami and Hideo Kojima. Kojima ultimately ended up leaving the company and forming his own studio. But before that, and the whole kerfuffle was with the new Silent Hill project that he was working on. And there was even a demo preview called PT that everyone loved. And that a lot of other developers have tried to emulate in the past. And Norman Reedus was going to be a part of the project. Guillermo del Toro was supposedly involved as well. Those two both ultimately worked on Death Stranding. But Kojima never got to work on the project because of what Konami did. And since Kojima left Konami, they haven't seemed interested in doing anything with the Silent Hill project, except for making DLC for a lot of other unrelated games that's based on Silent Hill, just basically cashing in on the popularity of Silent Hill without actually making another Silent Hill game. And then I think they also did Castlevania and Silent Hill themed pachinko machines. Pachinko is part where they're getting a lot of their money from. And if you know anything about pachinko in Japan, most of the pachinko parlors are owned by the Japanese mafia, otherwise the Yakuza. And Konami is a family-owned company. It's been owned by a single family for a long time. Very few game studios are publicly traded companies. And so it's been speculated for a while that the family running Konami might be the Yakuza or associated with them in some way. But this isn't about that. Since they've had very little care, very little respect for one of their most liked franchises, they haven't been keeping up the domain name. Now in 2019, they almost lost it, but were able to reacquire the domain name for SilentHill.com. Recently, however, they let the domain lapse. You have to pay on it every couple of years, but they let it lapse, and somebody else bought it up. And when you go to the website, it now redirects to this. This is a tweet from one of the staff members on one of the Silent Hill games. He's the creator of Pyramid Head. And so he laments ever creating him because Pyramid Head has become a symbol of the Silent Hill games. Konami insists on using him a lot, and they're using him a lot in a lot of other material, a lot of other games that are not related to Silent Hill at all. And he's really not happy about that at all. And I don't really blame him. So, Konami no longer owns the website, or no longer owns not the website, but the URL for silenthill.com. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. They cared so little about it that they didn't renew it. And before they could renew it, if they even did care, someone else bought it up. Now, who knows how much money they're going to have to shell out to buy it. Because I think the person that bought it spent like, I think they spent like $10,000 to buy the URL. Yeah. And the guy that created Pyramid Head, he has done some work for World of Tanks. Pyramid Head was inspired by his love for military World War II tanks. And so he was inspired by the King Tiger, which was a German tank from World War II. And so he worked with World of Tanks on a Halloween event. And the First Game's director is currently working on their own game called Slitherhead. So, yeah. Anyway, so SilentHill.com is no longer owned by Konami, and that's freaking hilarious. That's funny as heck. You can't make this stuff up. Anyway, I have been Mike TheZorch. This has been Gamers Bay Weekly. Tune back in to Gamers Bay for more news stories like this coming in the future. Whenever any interesting stories pop up, we release another Gamers Bay Weekly episode to cover it. And this, I thought, was a pretty interesting story to cover. If you like this video, consider subscribing, click the bell icon so that you'll get notifications, and don't forget, look at the description below the video for links to our community on MeWe. So check that out. We'd love to have you a part of our community of gamers by gamers. And I'll see you in the next video.